Hi everybody, how you doing? This is FYS STEM version, and here we are. We are getting deep into our course, and we're talking halfway there. And really, it's the week before Thanksgiving, and as a result, you're kind of starting to turn that corner, going towards the home stretch of the term. And as a result, things are going to start going fast. As you go into Thanksgiving week and then going towards the end. So when you look at this. Um, you could say it's kind of the halfway point of the term. I view it more of like kind of turning a corner. Um, I would urge you to take a moment to really reach out to your instructors and get an inventory on where you are. Take the time to reach out and say, hey, Professor Smith, Instructor Johnson, I'm in your whatever class it is. If you could, I've looked on Blackboard, I see maybe there's an assignment missing or whatever your scenario is. Reach out to them and see if you can make good on that. Um, you're gonna have time off during Thanksgiving. You may as well just go for it and get some stuff done. And you know what? Quite honestly, that could be the difference, right? You're talking several weeks out towards the end of the term. It's easier to course correct now than it is to on the week before uh, the end of the term. If you're trying to do this in the middle of December, going into the last week of the term, forget it. From my side as an instructor, we will not have time to help you out. I'm telling you, go on Blackboard, go through your courses, check where you are, see if you're missing an assignment, reach out to that particular instructor and see if you can do something and get a couple points, whether it's a couple of partial points or full point value for the assignment. Let me put myself down here, and rake up those points because I know I talked about this in the beginning of the semester, but I always like to refresh on this. Remember, points are like money. Get your rake out and rake up every single point, every nickel, dime, and quarter that goes towards your grade because you have two different types of equity that get you into Northwestern or U of I or ISU or SIU or whatever, wherever you end up. One of which is money. You got to pay for your classes, right? You got tuition, you got to pay for that. You got to pay for room, book, board. But the other part of this is or are your grades. Your grades are like academic equity. So when I say get your rake out and rake up your nickels, dimes, and quarters and pennies, I'm not joking because every single penny, if you will, or point could matter. I've had students who received an A in one of my courses because they had 90.02 or 90.03 because they did one extra question, got one extra point, and it was just enough to put them over the hump, and it earned them the A as opposed to the B. So the other place where it becomes kind of a greater equity picture is this. If you have maybe all A's versus A's and a B or a couple B's and an A, there's a difference in terms of GPA, and some scholarships will have a cutoff point based off of GPA. So not to put the pressure on you, put the squeeze on you, but realize when you reach back and reach out to your professors and say, can I go ahead and make up that assignment? And they give it to you for 50%. You're like, oh, the heck with it. Okay, fine. Instead of 10 points, you get 5 points. Those 5 points might get you that academic scholarship that is worth $10,000. I would then ask, what is each point worth? So kind of wrap yourself around that, right? So find out what they want, find out what you're missing, and deliver it to them, all right? Stay in touch with your instructors. I've jokingly said it before, like I'm kind of down here in my bunker. Here's my bunker in the basement. This is my office. And I'm not unique, right? Every one of us as instructors, we're sitting down in our basement or at our kitchen table delivering content in a class. And hey now, sometimes we can lose track of who's in our class or what we're doing, and we don't have a face to put with the name as we're sitting across from somebody, and that's unfortunate. And so as a result, you have to kind of be proactive in reaching out to your instructors to make sure you are in contact with them to know what they want. So now I'd like to kind of segue over to the uh, next topic, which is information literacy. And this will be one of our passport assignments. Libraries have really evolved, right? It used to be like big buildings with thousands of books in them, and now it's become smaller buildings, more like a resource center. And the resources that these libraries have and they have available to them are quite impressive. When you look at these individuals who work in libraries, there's one gal that I always have come in and present to my class who is just unbelievably sharp, and she works in a library. She has a doctorate in library sciences. Library sciences. I never even thought of it as a career or a degree, but here she is. She is passionate about that. She's passionate about that type of research. She's passionate about that kind of work. And she went and earned a doctorate in library sciences. Oh my goodness. So believe me when I tell you, these people are there and they are ready to help. And they're sharp. I mean, you're talking about different assignments and trying to find information for maybe an English paper, reach out to them. They're awesome. So you have to almost think of this in terms of not you're not sending that person out to go find information. You almost have to think of it in terms of you're collaborating with you. They want to help you. They don't want to do your work for you. So realize that you have to kind of work with them when you're looking for an assignment. So for the information literacy assignment, I'm asking you to source out the databases. We'll get this in a second. And you can locate those on the left-hand side of the library window. So if I go ahead and, escape out of this, minimize, and we go into here, and you look up library, excuse me, and you're in the library window. On the left-hand side, you'll see databases. I want you to go into databases, and as you go through this, pick a subject. It could be relative to your major. I'm going to do, oh gosh, I'm going to pause this presentation while I go ahead and scroll this through. But the one thing I want to point out while I'm doing this, real quick, I'm sorry, is if you do a chat with them, they're quite good at getting back to you. So let me pause this while I fill out this information. Okay, I'm back, and what I did was I just said, hey, I'm filming, boy, a lot of typos in there, filming a video, et cetera, and they got back to me within a minute. You know, so they have people sitting there waiting to help you out. And what I'm looking at is this information here. Let me scroll down using this. If I scroll on my screen, I have a touch screen. If I scroll on it, it makes a funky swooshing noise. You can choose one of these database resources. So for example, if I want to find some information on nursing, I can go into there, and you can query this up top. But these are all wonderful resources that you can use to be able to find information. Take your pick, right? If whatever you were looking for a class, it's in here. Now, what I would advise is this. If you have something in particular you're looking for and you can't really figure out how to query that information, ask this gentleman over here or gal or whoever is there. But if you're into, oh, I don't know, how about jazz? Why don't we go into jazz? Who doesn't like a little jazz? You'll go in and you'll log into your information and it'll source you out to somewhere else. And where I'm going with this is use these wonderful tools that they have here to help you find more information for your papers, your assignments, etc. Because it's a wonderful, wonderful tool. I'm going to read about the new pandemic medication. You got to log out to that as well. Okay, guys. With that, I don't want to take much more time, but you'll find this information in Blackboard. And what I'm looking for you to do is this. When you go in, source one of the database, use that database to help you answer the questions that are provided for this assignment, and just go from there. If you have to, which you might, is use their chat over here to help walk you through the database search over here on the other side. This is done deliberately to force you to actually do some work. You can't just, lay down and get an A. You got to go ahead and work for it. And what I'm looking for is you to be able to use this information over here on the left-hand side of your screen to be able to answer things for your assignment. All right, guys, that's 9 minutes of your time, 9 minutes of my time. I'm going to let you go and be on the lookout for more stuff. And have a great Thanksgiving. We're going to go ahead and be done with this week, and you'll be on to Thanksgiving thereafter. All right, guys, signing off. Bye.